Hello, my name is Matthew Wagner. I'm here with Trey Williams. Welcome into the first episode of the Sports Ramble podcast. Trey, thank you so much for being here.
Anytime, man.
Yeah,
Anytime.
man. My brother from another mother, literally.
Sure.
For sure. But no, we're going to jump right into our first topic. Usually with Sports Ramble, we kind of just ramble about sports, anything sports related, whether that be basketball, hockey, baseball, soccer. Heck, we might even get into rugby or wrestling at some point. We'll see how it goes. Trey will be on every Thursday show, and I'll have a special guest for every Saturday show. We'll try to keep the times a little bit at the same time. We're going to try to get cameras once we get a little bit getting in on this. But let's jump into it. First topic. Our first topic, our sport we're going to jump into. Trey, we're going to talk basketball because I know that's your big thing. I know you were more of a basketball player than you were a football player.
Yeah. I've been a basketball player since the age of 5, and I've been playing varsity for 3.5 years for South Lake Carroll High School in South Lake, Texas. But yeah,
awesome, dude. All right, well, we're gonna jump right into it. We're gonna start March Madness. All right, so that's gonna be our first little thing we talk about. So we kind of saw some games. Have you watched any of the games so far?
Oh yeah, I watched mainly the Gonzaga and Kansas game, and that was a surprise for me because Gonzaga put a whooping on Kansas in the second half. Whenever they start making threes, you can't stop them. No. And their defense is really good, and they're on a really well coached team. And the really good coaching staff on Gonzaga is because they've been there before, a bunch of times. So whenever the coaching staff and the strategy and pretty much prevent Kansas to score in the second half, contest their shots. Yeah. And then they miss and then transition threes.
No, I thought, I agree. I mean, that was insane. I also wanted to point out Purdue's game. They whooped Utah State. I mean, 106-67.
Yeah.
That is one of the biggest blowouts I think I've ever seen in at least a college basketball game. And I've seen some blowouts from sure. I mean, my bracket was Did you do a bracket this year?
Yes, unfortunately, I did. I did 2 of them.
I had 4 or 5, and mine was going great until everything was perfect right after day 1, and then Wisconsin played the day after against James Madison, and they lost, and then my bracket was destroyed. I still have a winning record though because UConn, my final is Houston versus NC State or North Carolina. Sorry. Not NC State, but NC State's making a good run for it.
Yes, and that big man, that dude, he's a killer.
Yeah, he's
bringing back that Zach Randolph type of big man.
Yeah, and that's what I think a lot of teams miss is that Zach Randolph. You think he always there just push guys around, but he can handle the ball pretty well. He can shoot pretty well. He posts up really well. I thought he did really good, but going forward, what upsets do you think was going to happen? I know you kind of point out the Gonzaga game as well.
Okay, the one upset I see is Purdue versus Gonzaga.
Okay. You think Gonzaga can upset them?
Yes, because with their defense, how they can prevent and contain Zach Edey. Because if you double team Zach Edey in the post,
yeah,
he has to pass it to his teammates, and then the teammates have to score.
Yeah.
So if you stop him, because he averages 24 and 12 and 2 blocks a game.
Yeah.
And that's for college. That's really impressive.
Yes.
Because, and it's just really, if you, take the head off the snake, the body dies.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's if you stop Edey, you can beat Purdue.
And we'll look at every game Purdue. I don't know, Purdue's on a really good run. Look at every game they've played. Purdue, beat Grambling State, plus, 20 points. They beat Utah State, another plus 20 game. And look at Gonzaga's road. They beat McNeese pretty easily, and they beat Kansas pretty easily. So these are 2 teams that are kind of rolling right now. I think personally, I always like to crap on Purdue where I can.
Yeah.
Because I don't like Purdue because when UNT beat them, I think it was 2 years ago now. But I don't know, man. I think Purdue can make a run at it. And the only team that I can see beating them is probably Tennessee right now because Tennessee's been just on a roll as well. I mean, a lot of the teams, but I'd say there's not as many upsets this year as there were in the years previous, at least in my opinion. Because we saw a couple of years ago, St. Peter's made a run. We saw UNLV make a run. We saw, I think it was Chicago Loyola. I believe I'm saying that right.
Chicago Loyola.
They made a run too. So, but like I said, I think this year we're seeing less and less teams. We're seeing more 1-seed teams win. Obviously, we saw Mississippi State fall to Michigan State. We saw Alabama destroy Charleston. Not a lot of upsets. I think the only team that I think
got upsetted.
Yeah.
Kentucky.
Yes, Kentucky. But then again, we kind of knew Kentucky was going to lose.
Because they only have like freshmen and sophomores. They have like no seniors on the team.
But they're gonna have a good future. I'll say that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because like whenever like their coach Calipari, we don't know if he's going to be staying this year.
Yeah,
signs are saying
he's been there a while.
He's been there for a while. But like signs are saying like he might be either retiring or he's going to stay for one or two more seasons.
Yeah.
Then like he's going to pull the plug on the Hall of Fame career.
Kind of like what Coach K did when he So we'll see. I mean, Duke's obviously having a run as well. Duke's been, but the thing is, Duke hasn't had a tough road. You know, they had to play James Madison, the 12th seed, who upset Wisconsin. You have Vermont. They've had to play Vermont. Houston, I think, had a little bit of a tougher one. They obviously destroyed Longwood. But that game against Texas A&M was no easy fit. I mean, double overtime.
No. It was not easy for them.
So Duke has a chance to upset them. I'll say that.
Because, like, the culture there.
Yeah.
They're held to a high standard. Whenever, like, if you think about March Madness, you think of Kansas.
Yes.
Gonzaga. Villanova, even though they're not in it.
Yes.
That, like, they're held to a standard.
Yes. No, so, like, UNC is always, a team that... And I kind of wanted to segue instead of upsets, and we're going to get to teams that are overrated and snubbed from the tournament, but is there a team in your mind that consistently makes the tournament but never goes far? Because I have my team in mind. What about you?
I mean, I always see either BYU always like making the tournament, and then like they don't make no noise, either like losing the first round like they did this year.
Yeah, they lost to Duquesne.
And then either like a second round appearance.
Like, I think I'm saying that right. Duquesne, is it Duquesne or Duquesne? I think it's Duquesne.
And then like I know they made the national championship a couple of years back. Yeah. It's like what's that one team? Let's say I don't want to say Kentucky, but like since I was like
no, I understand. Yeah, Kentucky's always there. FAU made a run at it last year. They made the Final Four.
Yeah, and then Baylor.
Oh yeah, Baylor.
I was like I don't know because they've been doing really good the past couple of years, but like whenever we were growing up in 2010s. They always kept on losing, kept on getting upset in the first couple of rounds. I was like, I don't really trust them.
Yeah, I think more people paid attention though to Robert Griffin III when he was there because I think more people back then paid attention to their football program more than they did now their basketball. Now basketball is kind of like with us, like people might pay attention now to our football team, but not anymore. Obviously, we had a tough season for UNT, but now our basketball teams
switched.
Yeah, we obviously first year in the American we lost. We had some players injured, Bugs got hurt, some of those guys got hurt. But I think the future looks bright for us, at least.
Oh, the future looks bright because, like, I know, like, we didn't make it far in the NIT tournament.
But look at the road we had to go through. It was a lot. It's either hard. It was harder, if not harder, than last year.
Oh, yeah. It's like the season's a marathon.
Yes.
I mean, you're going to have, like, a winning streak, and then we're going to have some cold, like, losing streaks. Because basketball, it's either going the basket, like the ball's gonna go in the basket or it's gonna rim out and go out the basket. So it's like wish wash and then like go on to the next game. Yeah, so you just gotta have that mentality, So it's just any basketball player, like if you have like a short streak, you still have that high confident mentality that you're gonna make your next shot.
Yeah, dude, that's like you hit the nail on the head right there. My thing is, I always thought Texas Longhorns, they always make a run. They're always either consistently in the NCAA tournament, but they never win it. This goes back to the days when Shaka Smart was the head coach, and they were constantly making either the Sweet 16. Sometimes they made the Elite Eight, but they never really, when Kevin Durant played, they never made it far. They made the Final Four 1 year, and they never.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the teams that I always look at, I'm like, oh, they're going to make the tournament this year. They started off the season really hot, and then their coach, obviously the allegations against him, had him step down, and they kind of slowed off. So obviously that's a little tough. But again, Texas is one of those teams that I think constantly makes the tournament, but just never goes anywhere. And they barely beat Colorado State, the 10 seed, 56-44. I mean, that's not a that's the score. The score is not reflective of what we saw in that game, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then Tennessee destroyed them at the end there with their free throws. Tennessee's a very good free throw type team. I think Creighton, Creighton's a tough team because Creighton barely beat Oregon, because I know the score 86-73. That doesn't really, again, reflect the game. Obviously, fouls kind of killed Oregon. And then we'll kind of move over here. What teams are overrated and any teams get snubbed? I'll start with teams that are overrated. I don't believe that Clemson should be where they are.
Yep,
Because I'm not the biggest Clemson supporter. So they had an easy win over New Mexico, but then and Baylor collapsed.
That's why I say
that's why I thought Clemson won that game easily, because they collapsed. They didn't have two of their players fouled out early, and it just doesn't look good for them. And at least I think, I'm pretty sure two of their players fouled out early. Not early, but like in the second half. But yeah, it's one of those where you're like looking at it and you're like, how did they win? How did Clemson win this game here? We'll kind of go through it. Like, it just seemed like they just couldn't get going. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Bridges and Dennis, they both had 2 fouls and 3 fouls on them.
But 9 for 21 for Dennis. He
That's
shot 9 for 21.
You can't have
2 for 10.
Yeah, you can't have that. Walter 6 for 13.
When the lights are bright, you gotta show up. That's my thing. Because if you want to be a top tier team in the NCAA tournament, you have to show up when it counts.
Yes.
You can't be a regular season type of dude, because that's goes for NBA, NCAA, even high school. When the lights are bright, whenever it comes to playoffs, you have to show up. The top players have to show up. You can't rely on the role players. No, nothing. Look
at the blocks though. 2 blocks out of that whole game from 2 players. 2 blocks the whole game. Now I know at college you're not gonna see a whole lot of blocks, but that for your defensive metrics, that looks terrible.
Yeah, it's just
they defensive rebound pretty good.
Defensive rebound. We got to grab the rebound to go to the other side.
But look at compared to the offensive rebounds, you're not seeing the.
Yeah, there's no difference.
That. Yeah. But then, all right, so we'll move on. One team that I thought got snubbed from the tournament, I'm gonna go Indiana State, in my opinion. With the record of 28-6, Indiana State went 15-5 away from home, and they notched the most victories since reaching the national championship game in '79 when Larry Bird was actually on that team.
Yeah.
And yet they're left out despite the net ranking of St. John's, which was better at 29, and St. John's was at, I believe 34. And St. John's made the tournament, which they got. Pretty sure they got bodied in the first round.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. That's unfortunate. But again, it's like, and I remember they asked what was it? They asked what was the reason they were left out. And I never heard a good explanation from the NCAA. And the reason they said that was because they lost in the MVC championship to Drake, and Drake made it. Sorry, not St. John's. St. John's did not make the tournament. I was thinking St. Peter's. Excuse me. But Drake made the tournament even because they won the MVC championship. That should not. Just because you lose one game,
does not eliminate you from the tournament.
No, it should not. And they're still in the NIT and they're still doing very well in the NIT. But you kind of think of what they could have done if they made the tournament.
Yeah. What
about you? Did any teams, in your opinion, get snubbed?
Not in my opinion. I don't think none of the teams that I know of got snubbed.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick a team, probably UAB got snubbed because I know I'm not allowed to say that team on UNT grounds because they're our rivals. But yeah, they're a really good team, a really well coached team, and they have some really good players on their team. And then for them to be not in the tournament is really weird. I know FAU made the tournament. It was why can't
UAB made the tournament.
They did?
Yeah, right here.
Cool.
They lost to San Diego State. But yeah, I just understand UAB.
They should have been higher.
They made it in. Yeah, they got. I guess in terms of ranking, they got snubbed. But what teams are you most which teams are most exciting to watch in your opinion?
Of course, Houston and Gonzaga.
Yep.
Because where is he at? Tristan Newton for UConn.
Mm-hmm.
When he gets going, you can't stop UConn.
Yeah.
Because he's averaging 15 points a game. at least
Mhm.
for UConn. And once he gets rolling, like it's just ball game.
I got you. I like that. No, I like that a lot. I was gonna go. I'm excited to see Houston go far. I think Houston's an exciting team, especially that A&M game that went to double overtime. I thought that was an insane game. I'm excited. I hope Houston moves on, and I hope NC State moves on because we haven't seen NC State win a national championship since 1983 with Jim Valvano.
Yeah.
Everyone remembers that dream run where they knocked off teams like Houston, and they knocked off Virginia, led by Ralph Sampson. They knocked off they knocked off UNC, led by Michael Jordan. I mean, that's a young Michael Jordan, but still, for you to knock off
Michael Jordan
in college is still a pretty good, it's still a pretty good resume to work with, and so I thought that was kind of interesting. How many 1 seeds do you think will make to the Final Four? I think right now there's only 4 1 seeds left. There's Houston, UConn. I'm pretty sure
And
North Carolina and Purdue are still in it. Yeah, so four of them are still in it. Yeah, so the highest seed, or I guess the high or the lowest seed, technically, because I think of high when I think of low numbers. The highest seeds or the lowest seed still in it is NC State, ranked 11th, which is crazy because they upset Texas Tech. They barely beat out Oakland by 6 points, and now they're facing Marquette, who
They should be NC State.
You think so?
They should be.
Dude,
yeah.
that's what I love about March Madness though. Like momentum
Anything can happen. Yeah,
momentum
momentum.
is a fickle thing in sport. Like it can propel a team to championships whenever you need them to.
Because if you look at it, Marquette like only beat Colorado by 4.
Yeah.
And it's just like college basketball can be weird and be crazy.
And that's
It's madness.
that's the beauty about basketball in general is there's games where shots fall and shots don't fall, right? Like you've had those games where
Yes.
there's games where shots fall for you, and there's games where you're like, I can't hit a basket to save my life. I'm sure you could reflect on that as well.
Yes, because I was like, why is the shots not falling? Like it looks good whenever the ball leaves your hands, and then as soon as like the ball hits the rim, it rims out.
Yeah.
And it was like you're contemplating. And I was like, what did I do wrong? Because I shot the ball perfectly.
Yeah.
And it's just like one of those games that is like you gotta go, just keep playing, and keep shooting.
That's what I love about March Madness because you have one game to have the best game of your life, right? Because some teams we've seen have runs that like they stall out because again like they have these miracle runs where some of these players are hitting 30 points a game, and then all of a sudden the next game they're as we saw in the game they're 2 for 13 or 6 for 21 we said earlier.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. That's the game. Like that
9
can't
for
happen.
21,
Thank you, 9 for 21. But that's just what's crazy, and oh man, that's just like you don't think about like having those games, and I think Houston makes it to the Final Four. I know we're in the Sweet 16 right now. There are games today, by the way, like all these games that we're talking on today's Thursday, so we're talking about all these games. These games are gonna be played today, so obviously the bracket will be updated after today. But I'd say Houston, man, they have 7 players averaging over 5 points a game. LJ Cryer leading the way with 15.3 points per game, and they'll kill you with free throws. I mean, 69% on the season. That's kind of where they ended up killing A&M right at the end there. That's how they tied the game was their free throws because A&M was again you're not trying to foul, but when you foul, a lot of those players have a good free throw percentage, and that's something that you can't have in terms of fouling. I think that's kind of how UNT lost to Seton Hall. We start off great, and then we started fouling. We started not picking up the pace, and Seton Hall does what they do, and they just
it's just
steamrolled us essentially.
Yeah, because free throws it's like I don't know, it's like a lost art, and like in the game because like if you're a good free throw shooting team, good luck good luck to the opposing team.
Yeah,
because like. If it's a close and you have to foul us, we're most likely going to make our free throws, and then you're going to lose.
exactly.
So like that's why like it's really good to have good free throw shooters on the floor or on your team, so you can rely on them whenever it gets close, and then like you just make 2.
Yeah, I got you.
That's it.
So then, like, who do you think, Trey, is your early March Madness champion, and who do they play essentially?
UConn versus Houston, and like that's going to be a really good back and forth game, and I can see UConn going back to back.
Ooh, I like that. I think for me it's more storylines because I'm a storyline guy.
Yeah.
I got Houston in it, but I got UNC in it because you're looking back dating back to the days of Hakeem and Jordan. Those guys. Phi Slamma Jam, I believe was the sorority for the basketball team because they had Hakeem. You had Clyde Drexler. And
Yes.
Jordan, Jordan obviously leading the mighty UNC to a national championship. But I think in terms of like teams that could make it, I do like Houston, UConn. San Diego State's had a good run though. Like they've really.
That's a rematch of last year.
I know
That's gonna be a good
and
one.
but the rematch of last year wasn't.
It wasn't.
It wasn't a good game. It really wasn't.
That's
That was the
my
game.
thing.
It started
like-
off great, and then everyone's like, "Okay, this game's kind of over by like the first half."
Yeah.
But I think that's gonna be a tightly contested game. Obviously, you don't want to give a team any momentum. I think Illinois, Iowa State, those are two teams no one really talks about. Those two teams have been pretty good. Illinois has had a pretty good easy run to the Sweet 16. Iowa State, not again kind of an easy run. Kind of had some trouble against Washington State, but again, those are two teams that are pretty well coached, and both teams have some good depth on their bench.
Oh yeah, because going back to depth, you need depth on your team. 'Cause
Oh yeah,
you can't rely on 6 players to be like go out there and then just wish for the best. Because you had to have at least 10 to 11 players ready
Yeah.
to go.
I think that was what kind of kills some teams is you have like if you know a player's prone to fouling out, okay, so he's gonna foul out. So now you're like, okay, who do we grab here? From our bench. It's like so. I think that's what kind of killed UNT is we have our great starters. We have Bugs. You got
Edwards.
Yeah, Edwards was great this year. Scott, CJ. No, yeah. But the second those guys got hurt or fouled out, there wasn't a lot on. Don't get me. I'm not trying to dissuade our UNT fans. I'm not trying to do any of that. I think that if we can strengthen the bench, we can go far. Because we have some guys that are you don't know who's
really good.
Yeah, we don't know who's obviously Scott's not. Scott's graduating. I believe also. I don't think Nolan's retiring either. CJ,
No.
I don't think CJ's coming back.
CJ's a junior this year, so he's coming
Oh,
back.
he's coming back. Okay, good. Whew, thank God. But again, you have to be on those recruits. So, in my opinion, I think that's good. But we're gonna switch over to the women's now. The women's should be a little bit fun.
Iowa.
You going for Iowa all the way?
Yes, Caitlin Clark could take us home, take us to the promised land.
And this is
I know, it's gonna be a really tough road for them because they have to face LSU. If LSU beats they're playing today. They're playing LSU plays
They're playing LSU. Iowa plays Colorado.
and then LSU plays UCLA. Okay, now, that's
UCLA is gonna be a good game.
UCLA ain't no pushover.
No, they are not.
And Angel Reese and Van Lay?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot her first name. I went blank.
I
Blank
got
for
you.
a second.
I got you. Don't worry. I got you. Don't worry. We got you. Oh wait, that's not the right one. I can't. Let me go to the past. That would be easy.
It's Haley. It's
Yeah,
Haley.
Haley.
Haley Van Lay.
Yeah, there you go. You got it.
I knew her nickname was HVL.
Yeah.
And then with her and Angel, it's gonna be a really tough matchup for UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know UCLA. They got that one big girl, the really tall one.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be really tough. A really good matchup with her and Angel.
Oh, for sure. So my early champion, I had to go with UConn. Obviously, they got eliminated, but the reason I went with UConn at first was mostly due to the fact that they had made it. Actually, they're still in it. My bad. UConn's still in it. Thank God. So UConn they've been in the tournament the last 4 years, and they've won a total of 11 championships. And they went on a 4-year run from 2012 to 2016. They won it 4 years in a row. So that's something that I've noticed about teams and women.
Yeah.
And one team that's still in it. I know we talked about the men's team earlier from Texas. The women's team's still in it. They're 1-seeded, and they're playing number 4 ranked Gonzaga. Now they did have some trouble against Alabama, 65-54. But other than that, they've been kind of cruising through this tournament. Gonzaga, I think, is going to pose the most challenge to them. NC State and Stanford should be a good game for the women's.
Yes.
I guess we talked about UConn and Duke. I don't know why I said Drake. Duke will be a good one.
UConn beating. Then I got.
I think USC beats Baylor. I got USC beating Baylor.
Juju Watkins.
Yeah.
Hopefully she doesn't drop a tour date.
You never know. You never
know.
Never know. South Carolina, I think
South
Indiana.
Carolina, South Carolina.
I think Indiana can upset them though. I think Indiana can upset them. Look at What do you mean? Stop it! I'm just saying. I mean, you never know.
South Carolina gonna beat Indiana, and then they're gonna beat
Oregon Notre Dame game. So it's I think Notre Dame.
So South Carolina gonna make it to the Final Four. Okay,
versus Iowa.
They're gonna South Carolina's gonna beat Indiana. Then they're gonna beat the winner of Oregon State and Notre Dame game, and then we're gonna go.
Then we're gonna play. I think Texas beats
Gonzaga. Yeah,
Gonzaga, and then Texas beats Texas versus Stanford's going to be a good if they do win. USC versus UConn would be a good game. So it's I think my final, man, the fact that you might have South Carolina versus Texas, both 1 seeds making it, and then you also have the potential of USC versus Iowa. Again, we're just naming 1 seeds. Again, these games could go either which way. We don't know. And that's what again the beauty of basketball comes in. And I wanted to ask you, Trey, is there more parity in the women's tournament than the men's? And what I mean by that is, do you see more the same teams always going to the Final Four in the women's than we do men's?
Because for me, for men's, there's a bunch of different teams.
Yeah.
Cause this depends on the runs. Because each nowadays for college.
Yeah.
Mostly players are good players are one and done, so they're not staying for long. They're only staying for that one good season. Then just depends on if they get hurt or it's just them just carrying their team.
Yeah,
and it's then looking at other colleges that have the same group for a couple of years, and then they beat them based off of chemistry. Because if you have good chemistry, that can take you a long way. Chemistry plus momentum. Look at San Diego State last year.
Yeah, momentum is a big thing, and you get
even though they
momentum.
lost in the championship game, that they're there.
You're there. So I again, so then kind of transitioning from that, what is the greatest game ever tournament game ever played in your opinion?
Villanova versus UNC 2016. Whenever Chris Jenkins hit that buzzer beater,
yeah,
I watched it live. I remember my dad. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe it.
Yeah, freaking out. Yeah. I think for me, it would have to be, as I mentioned to it earlier, the NC State Jim Valvano game. I wasn't alive, obviously, to watch that, but I watched replays of the game. I've watched a full game replay. That game will have you on the edge of your seat. And the reason I say that is because the storyline, the NC State Wolfpack was not expected to be anywhere near the final.
Yeah.
And their motto was survive and advance. If you go watch the 30-30 documentary on that, it's such a good documentary. But to me, that will always be a memory because because Jim Valvano's a guy that growing up I did. I had when I wrote stories on him. I never met him, obviously, but I wrote stories on his character and the person he kind of was, and it was crazy to hear about the stories that he had and the YouTube videos that I've seen and listening to interviews that he's given that just encapsulate what a good human being he was.
Yeah.
So that that's kind of a personal one for me. If I had to pick another one, I was actually going to pick the 2016 Chris Jenkins buzzer beater. Because I remember watching that.
I was like,
I remember being I was on a Carnival cruise ship, and I remember watching it at one of the TVs, and everyone was freaking out because again, you had that was divided. You were either Villanova or UNC. There's no in between. So I thought that was interesting.
And I could put an honorable mention: Butler versus Duke 2010.
Ooh, that's a good one.
When Gordon Hayward was in Butler with Brad Stevens. Chef's kiss, even though Duke won, but every time I rewatch it, I always think Gordon Hayward is gonna hit that half court shot. Yeah, it was oh my god, will he make it? I was he missed it.
I got you.
No, but that was a really good game, really well coached game by both ends, by Duke and Butler. But
yeah, I got you. So we're gonna skip ahead to the NIT tournament real quick. We're gonna kind of recap all that stuff. We kind of talked about UNT and Seton Hall, the game. We're kind of brush over that real quick. They did lose. I know you expected Jason Edwards to step up and more from CJ Nolan.
Yeah.
I mean you said it. The groin strain's difficult.
It's not easy.
No,
especially for college.
Yeah,
it's not easy because the transfer portal. Because if a good player they want to leave and they enter the transfer portal, and it's really hard to create that chemistry for college because there is a rarity for players to stay for 4 years out of college, unless it's for educational wise.
Yeah,
because that's it's just based off of chemistry, and for next season, I can see them going 21-13, and possibly making the NIT again, with their schedule
Mhm.
and like the strength in conference,
Yeah.
they're probably gonna be like either like sitting in fourth or fifth again. It's gonna be like unfortunate for them because they're gonna miss like the main March Madness tournament.
Yes.
Like against us, like they haven't made it since like 2021.
Yeah. And again, that was a very
Surprising year.
yes, and that was also a year where we didn't expect us to make the tournament, and they kind of were like, "Yeah, you're in the tournament." We're like, "Oh,"
Oh,
and then we beat Purdue,
Yes.
and then we get
I mean,
then we get wiped.
anyways.
All right, so we're gonna transition. Again, I don't want to spend too much time on the NIT. We're just I'm gonna go over some teams to just kind of look at. You got Seton Hall, obviously on a big run right now. Indiana State, the one team we mentioned that was snubbed earlier, still going on a big run. I think in terms of who wins it, I actually have Seton Hall winning it. After the game I watched against UNT, I think Seton Hall has the best chance of winning it.
You can't I can see them winning it too. This is they have really good chemistry right now, and then like really high confidence in themselves right now, and then like what's dangerous, confidence, chemistry.
Yep.
That's like
I saw you wrote also that Seton Hall had your eye with Kadari Edwards.
Yes, this is like 15.6 points a game for college. I mean, I know that's not a lot, but like that can go a long way.
Yeah.
If he averages like his like same amount of points, it's really tough team to beat.
Yeah.
Because like they have other players that can step up too. So it's like pick your poison.
Exactly. And I saw you had the big win over UNLV, 91-68.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a that's a crazy win.
Yeah.
I mean, at least with UNT we made it close.
Yeah,
they did not make it. They did not have. I'm throwing out the
challenge.
I'm throwing out the Cobra Kai no mercy. That was a no mercy win for over UNLV. Like, I'm sorry, but that was a no mercy win.
Yeah, it was 23-point defeat.
Yeah,
you're about to make it to the NIT championship game closely. I was like, oh no,
yeah,
that's not good.
All right, now we're gonna get into the main course here, Evan. That's kind of a little appetizer. We're getting right into the NBA. We're going to talk Mavs. We're going to talk about everything else. Let's talk about the Mavs first. What do they need to go deep in the playoffs, in your opinion?
I mean, health, of course, because like we've been dealing with injuries this whole season with Kyrie, Derek Lively, Exum, and what sucks, Josh Green's out with an ankle sprain. He's gonna be back in a couple weeks. But like, what's good right now? We've been winning like without like a fully healthy roster. Still, like, because I know like we got everyone healthy. We got Kyrie back playing at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
He's been averaging 25 points a game, but he should have made the All-Star team. But like anyway, that's a different story.
That's your gripe with the
that's because like he got blacklisted anyways. But like because like what he's been doing with like off the court stuff, but like he's still a good player. And like every teammate that he's been with, they've been like nothing but good.
Supportive of him.
Like yeah, like there's like nothing going on with him. Like
yeah.
Because like whenever he left Brooklyn and came to Dallas, he was at peace.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then people on Twitter were saying like, "Oh, go to LA, join LeBron, go to the Lakers."
They need to do that.
Would not do because LeBron will overshadow him, and like it was like because if the Lakers lose,
mm-hmm.
and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, why Kyrie? Why you gonna do this? Why you gonna do that?" It was like too much drama because like Dallas, I know it's like a main media like area, but Brooklyn and Los Angeles,
New York and LA,
different like sports like media over there.
Those are more hardcore fan bases. I mean, yes. I'm not saying that Dallas has a hardcore fan base, but when you compare it to like New Yorkers,
we're chill. Yeah,
and so then who's your clear favorite for win the NBA title? I'm a little biased in mine, obviously. We'll get to that later, but what is your kind of clear favorite in your opinion?
I could see the Nuggets going back to back.
Running back, okay.
Because
Jokic is on a tear.
Because you can like regular season games, you can see when he's like, oh, I don't care. It's like it was just a game.
Yeah.
Then like he steps up, he can drop 30, 20, and 10 on you. Yeah. Like got 30 points, 20 rebounds, 10 assists.
And that's the one thing that NBA has that the March Madness doesn't have. It's one game in March Madness, whereas in NBA playoffs you have 7 games to make a difference, or possibly 4. So it's crazy. How teams like it's one game, and then you come back next game you drop 30. Next game after that you drop 40. So that's the thing about Jokic is he can easily drop 20, 30 on you, and you're done. Your team's done. I actually had I'm again biased. I have the Timberwolves. Because again, that team breaks my heart every year. Every Minnesota team breaks my heart every year. But I also had Boston making a run because Boston looks unstoppable. But again, we've said this before where they've had really good seasons. Don't look at me like that. You can't see it, but he's giving me that face where he's like, dude, stop. Like, no, I know what I'm saying.
Did you not see the last game that Boston played?
I did see that. That's
I know
game
against Atlanta, all team, and Trae Young didn't play, and they gave a 30-point lead. I know they already clinched the conference, but still,
yeah, they have nothing to play for.
I know that, but like at the same time, it's like you still gotta like prove a point. And it's like because by my experience, I seen Kristaps Porzingis choke in the playoffs, and he said it himself. But he's choked before. He choked before in the playoffs. He pretty much didn't give two craps about him playing against the Mavericks whenever they went to the playoffs again in 2021 and whenever they played the Clippers, and he was just sitting in the corner and probably he was just not getting no effort, and he was just Luka carrying.
That's that's still the greatest basketball meme in my opinion.
Tingus Pingus.
Who the heck is Tingus Pingus? I love that. That's such a good one. And then your favorite for MVP, I actually have Luka getting it. I know when he first got injured, everyone's like, "Oh, his MVP run's over." He came back from that injury and went on a tear.
Yes.
And then he goes and has a kid. He has a kid.
Yeah, he has motivation now.
Yeah, but the thing is, he has a kid, and not even 2 days later, he's back and he's dropping 30 points.
Yeah, it's
the man's dedication alone should earn him an MVP. I don't think he'll get it.
It sucks, but
then who gets it?
Jokic.
Why?
Because if Luka, I know everyone's saying Luka's the 6th seed right now, but Jokic won as a 6th seed in 2022. But that's my thing with what's wrong with the MVP award nowadays.
It should be voted on by the players.
Yes, and they also look at seeding, which doesn't make sense at all.
Well, the people that run that vote isn't it it's the press that vote for him.
Yes, because if you think about it, all the media does not like the Mavericks at all, especially because Luka, he's probably next GOAT generational player up next, but to LeBron. Stop it!
Easy there. No. Hold on. Let's go back to what you just said. You just compared Luka Doncic to LeBron.
Yes,
what are you saying?
LeBron says it himself, he sees himself as Luka, because Luka gets his players involved first, and then he takes over. That's why he gets he gets 10 assists. Don't walk away. Come back here.
Bro, what are we saying? What are we doing? What is this?
They played the same way. That's my thing. I'm not saying athleticism wise, no. Player wise, yes, because he could shoot and pat and play make, and the only thing that he hasn't been doing, but he's been doing good consistently this season, is play defense. The only thing that was problem with Luka, he
doesn't play defense.
He cries to the refs.
And he doesn't play defense. But hey, at least him and LeBron have that in common. Remember when they called him LaCry baby? Yeah, at least they have that in common. I don't know I'm just so baffled that you could compare. I know LeBron himself said it, but still, it's just
he's
how could you compare that?
Unathletic LeBron. He's an unathletic LeBron. You can say that. I'm proud to say it.
Okay, so think about it like this, right?
Yes.
In LeBron's first 6 years,
yes,
how many MVPs did he have?
2.
Okay. How many championships did he have? 0, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How many All-Star games? He made 6. All 6.
Yes.
For 6 seasons.
Yeah.
1 Rookie of the Year. I believe did he make he made All Pro team or something like that?
All NBA.
All NBA team. Okay. when you compare the stats to what he did in his first 16 to Luka, it does not equal.
I know it does not add up
But
because
I will give Luka the benefit of the doubt. Before they got Kyrie, he was really carrying the Mavs.
it was just him, and Ben Brunson was whenever he was still on the team.
Was it Luka's first season, which was Dirk's last season, or am I crazy?
Yes, it was.
They played together.
It was pretty much like, you're gonna be taking over my son, and then like he take the Dallas crown and put on Luka's babyface head, and then it's like, you're gonna be taking over the helm now, so take care of business now.
All right, so then we're gonna as we keep talking about the Mavs, we're gonna kind of switch it over to the Timberwolves, my sad team. I can't even talk about them very much because they've done nothing since KG was there. You can hear the pain in my voice, but that's okay. So, what's been the key to the Timberwolves' success? I said chemistry. Ant and Gobert keep finding each other. Like, Gobert's been, obviously, that first season with Gobert, the trade looked worse and worse and worse. But now the trade's looking better and better and better. Because I think people that clowned on the trade early, yes, you gave up a lot for Gobert, but you clowned the trade too early. Yeah, but you clowned on the trade too early because you didn't give him a chance to gel with Ant or Cat. Because Cat got injured.
Yeah, because Cat got injured.
And then Ant got injured right as Cat came back, and then Gobert got injured, and then
it was like
you just had it was kind of like the same situation where Kyrie and Luka never played really much together in the first season. Now they're playing together and they're doing about the same.
And not the same. Be quiet.
They're in the same position they were.
No, they
last year.
No, we were 8th or 9th.
You moved up 2 seats. Congratulations. We jumped from bottom of the pile,
and
barely making the play-in tournament, to the first.
Then we decided to tank for some certain reason, but thankfully we did because we got lively. But we got hurt, and then Luka gained weight. That's my thing from what happened last year. Whenever Luka got hurt, and then we did the Kyrie trade, Luka came back overweight for some certain reason. We don't know why, but yeah, he became overweight, and he couldn't play defense, which sucks. And that was the one season it was bad since probably the beginning of the 2021-2022 season when he it was you could see in his face dude's overweight.
Yeah. All right, and then I think defense is an uptick for the Timberwolves. I mean, last year it wasn't very good, obviously with some of the guys being injured. They're ranked 3rd in the league with 71%.
Oh yeah, that's
efficiency. That's good. And again, they've beaten some pretty good teams. They've beaten the Nuggets. They've beat obviously the Mavericks, which made me very happy. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. We're about to fight here in the studio. Anyway, we kind of already talked about the Mavs making it past the first round. I think they make second round. I think they get bodied. We're gonna move into our all-time starting 5. I have mine. We'll go. I'll go first. I'll go position by position, and then I'll say mine. You can say yours. For point guard, I got Magic Johnson. I mean, he's widely regarded as the greatest point guards in NBA history. He's exceptional court vision, playmaking abilities, leadership skills. Again, but we're talking modern era, right? So it's if he's playing modern era, I think because talent plays out in any era. I think he'd still be really good. Who's your point guard?
Steph.
That's fair. I like that.
Because I mean, I know it was oh, this is a controversial conversation because I know Magic has 5 championships. Steph has 4. And people are saying if Steph gets that one more ring, which I highly doubt that's ever going to happen because the way Golden State's been playing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way he transformed the game by shooting the 3.
Mm-hmm.
That puts him at my all-time starting 5. Put him there with his playmaking and shooting.
Yeah,
you can't stop that. And he's an underrated defender. Yes,
yeah.
I said it. He's an underrated defender.
Okay.
And then his steals,
how many blocks did he have against in the finals? He's
6'3". He's 6'3". He can't block. Anyway, he gets at least 1-2 steals a game at least.
Yeah, because no one thinks he's a threat, and he just dude. You know what he does? He cherry picks. Not in terms of defensive cherry picking. He waits for the guy to come toward his side. He just stands there and then takes off.
And then he gets the ball and he goes through the passing lane. That's the main
sometimes
reason
but sometimes when I watch him do that, I'm I could easily just wait there and no one would think I'm a threat and then just take the ball. But again, And then our next guy, shooting guard, that's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
We'll say it at the same time. 3, 2, 1. Michael Jordan. Obviously.
I was gonna say Kobe Bryant just to mess with you.
I was like, no, you can't say that. Obviously that's no-brainer. Clutch. One of the best. I think, in my opinion, he's the GOAT. Yeah, we'll get into that later. Small forward, I got LeBron. Obviously, versatile.
He's the GOAT. Stop it. Don't mess with me.
Do we have to compare stats again?
Give me grab my phone now. Hold on.
No, you don't understand. LeBron.
Pull up his stats real quick. Hold on.
Why do I have to pull up his stats? You should know this. That's the fact that you don't know this proves my point.
He's 27-7-7. That's his career average.
Okay.
And
so
all-time leading scorer in the league history, 21 years.
6-0 in the finals. That's all I gotta say. Shaq said it best. 6-0 in the finals. That's all he's gotta say.
Okay, and he made a whole team create a super team just to beat him. And he made the 10 finals appearance. I know his record's he's 4-6 in the finals. I was like, oh no. He
also form a super team to try to win a championship? He did. So you can't say that a super team beat him because it's karma. So the same thing that he did happened to him. He has no right to complain. No right to complain.
If you switch LeBron and Michael Jordan's career.
If I were to switch LeBron and Michael Jordan, LeBron would have gotten bodied in the 90s. Here's why. Because you have to deal with the bad boy Pistons. Knowing what I know about LeBron and knowing what I know about how he cries and when he gets hard fouled, he would have gotten ejected almost every night, or at least gotten a tech for complaining every night. Because again, the Pistons would have killed him.
Did you not see him in 2018? Did you not see him in 2013?
I saw him in 2018 when he lost in the finals.
Yes, you see how built he was?
Yeah, but he's not built
33.
Now. He's not built now. Anyway, we gotta move on. All right, we'll go to power forward Tim Duncan.
Yeah, Tim Duncan.
Come on, Tim Duncan. Who else goes there?
As a Maverick fan, I was debating. I was like, should I put Dirk? But at the same time, I was like, Timmy
was just that much better.
I was
like Dirk. I honorable mention will be Dirk. And then center, I actually have Kareem. I know I said he's all-time leading scorer. That's no longer true because I believe it is now LeBron James. Yeah. But I think Kareem goes. I know you had Shaq.
I had Shaq because
I know why you put Shaq though. Because the reason I like Kareem is because when it comes down to it, and we're talking all-time starting five, and it comes down to it, and your guy gets fouled, I want Kareem at the line. Yeah, I don't want Shaq at the line. And both of our teams are pretty. Besides, Magic Johnson and Kareem, our teams are pretty similar. I think my team's more defensive based. Yeah, because Kareem is more known for his defensive skills at the end of his career.
Yeah,
and so was Magic at the end of his career. But I think in terms of defense, I'm pretty happy with my team. Like defense, notable exceptions from my list were Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas. I know people hate Isaiah Thomas because of he's like they call him a little jerk. There's some other names we can't say on here, but obviously if you ever saw him play like on TV, he's kind of what Curry is now, in a way. Like his 3-point ability, his ability to move, be shifty was just what I think I see in Curry. I said KG obviously because KG was dominant. AI. These are kind of guys that I liked growing up. I loved watching AI play. Shaq, I put in. Kobe Bryant, obviously. I would love to put in Kobe Bryant. But the thing is, egos are a fickle thing for all-time starting five. So I think Kobe and Michael, I know they're friends. They would have been, they were friends. But you can't have two of those guys with their mentalities on the court at the same time. It's just tough. And then I actually put Dennis Rodman. Because if I was going all defensive team, I'm putting Dennis Rodman. If you go all defensive team, you got to put Dennis Rodman in there. How do you not put Dennis Rodman in there?
Yeah, because I did, for me...
Greatest rebounder of all time.
Yes, and for me, I did a mixture of both offense and defense. Because if you think about Steph and MJ, LeBron, they're really good two-way players. And Tim Duncan, at all people, he's really good defender. Shaq, yeah. He's an okay defender, but he can still hold his own. But we still got Tim to help him out.
Yeah, I got you.
But still that's a really good put LeBron on your best player, put Michael on your second best player, and then put Steph And what sucks about Stead, like he's 6'3", but at the same time, it's like he can still like rip you.
The reason I like my team is because you can put guys like you can put Kareem and LeBron and Tim in the low post, and those guys will eat you alive. Like you're not getting in the paint. I'm sorry, you're just not getting in the paint with those guys sitting there. And you can throw it out. All the guys, Magic, Jordan, LeBron, those three guys can easily hit threes no matter where they are. Tim Duncan and Kareem can't really hit. Tim Duncan can hit a three every once in a while, obviously, and Kareem has obviously can't hit a three to save his life. But he had the skyhook shot, and the skyhook was really hard to defend against.
Oh yeah, it was.
We saw that with UNT. At UNT, we saw that with I'm forgetting his name. Plays for Xavier now. Abu.
Yep. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and he had that skyhook that never worked for him, but it worked for other people. I feel like Abu watched a video of Kareem doing that. I was like, I can do it too, and never could.
Nope.
All right, so now we're gonna look at the top free agents this year, and some potential landing spots. So we have we're gonna start with the big one. We have LeBron James, the player option. I think he resigns. You said he resigns with the Lakers?
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I can see him. I don't see him going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I see him finishing his career in LA.
I think a team just like Cleveland or like a team will get desperate for him. I really think
the only reason why I could say Cleveland because
bring him home. Yeah, let him retire as a Cav. But can the fans handle him leaving one more time?
I mean,
three times the charm.
But I can also see him. I don't know about Miami though, because they're their spacing sucks.
No, they're not doing that.
Because I was like, why would they go to Miami?
You have Paul George, Chicago Bulls sign and trade.
Because the reason why I said that because I got DeMar DeRozan going to the Clippers for a sign and trade in that same deal. Because
that's such a lopsided deal. Chicago's winning that deal.
Paul George is aging, same as DeMar.
DeMar DeChokeson. There's a reason they call him DeMar DeChokeson.
Because he always plays LeBron, and LeBron always beats him, and that's not his fault. It was just LeBron was just kept on beating Toronto in the playoffs, and it was if you think about it, Chicago was the number 1 seed before Lonzo got hurt, and then Lonzo got hurt, and then everyone else kept on getting injured consistently. And then they went to the 6th seed and they lost to Milwaukee.
Yeah,
but at the same time, it was DeMar's still a good player, and with the Clippers. With him, Kawhi, Harden, if he stays, but and it's and I also got Westbrook, but hopefully he stays, but we don't know yet. But it's just we can only predict. But
yeah,
I can see Harden staying with the Clippers. I don't see him going anywhere else.
Yeah,
but with the Rosen there, him playing the small forward and Harden. Possibly playing the 2 guard.
But we've seen this with when Harden was on the 76ers. They tried to make that big team with everyone, and Harden didn't work out there obviously because he had problems with the owner and then all that stuff.
And everything with the
But you have, bro. No one can see this, but Klay Thompson to the Dallas Mavericks. Are you dude? What are you taking? Give me what you're taking because. Oh my God! There's no shot he goes to the. I can see Cuban making an effort for him, but there's no way. Because here's why.
Can a boy dream?
No dreams. Listen.
Okay.
You could dream. You can dream when you're 10 years old.
If you think about it,
I will give you $20. I will legit give you $20 if he goes to the Mavs.
If he comes off the bench and shoot, don't do too much. Just shoot. We know you're a good shooter. And we know that you're still a good, solid defender, even though you're about to hit mid-30s.
Mm-hmm.
He's 33, about to turn 30, 34, 33.
Yes.
Around that age.
Yes.
And we know if you can still shoot, you can still shoot. So you
have to realize Klay Thompson's ego. He doesn't want to come off the bench, Trey. He doesn't want to do that, and. Unfortunately, Steve Kerr loves his players so much that they will re-sign him to not come off the bench.
If the Mavericks do sign Klay Thompson, he could be that 6th man.
And I will give you $20 if he does. I doubt it. I doubt it though. I sincerely doubt it. Here's why: because they're going to overpay for him, and you're going to have no depth on your bench. I'd rather you go spend the money and go get better depth for your bench, or at least another player to help out Kyrie and Luka.
Because obviously we might be trading Hardaway and Maxi Kleber in the
Offseason, yeah.
Offseason.
I think that's guaranteed though.
Because like they're aging and Hardaway's inconsistent. Maxi's a shell of himself now, and we have Jaden Hardy, who's been doing a really really good job off the bench, and like he's like pretty much like Tim Hardaway 2.0 plus playmaking. He can play make.
Yes.
That's my thing. And he's a solid defender too. Like with him and Josh Green off the bench, that's like, and you see what they did with Utah last year?
Yeah.
They both scored 29 points. It's just like,
yeah,
the potential's there.
And you have some guys on the Texas Legends that can come up too.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, you have to develop them better.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know.
Obviously, yes. I know. But anyway, we don't have a lot of time. We have 5 minutes left, but we're going to kind of move on. Still think you're insane for having Klay Thompson on the Mavs, but that's okay. You can look, just that's the point of dreams. You can dream. It's dream. Look. It's dream. It's dream. Wake up. That's dream. Wake up. All right. We're going to go with all-time jerseys. Me, dude, the Timberwolves jersey from the 2000s, the KG jersey. Oh,
yeah, those were a classic jersey.
But not the white ones were good. But the dark blue. Oh, the ones they have now I hate. I don't like the ones.
Yeah,
I like the old retro ones they went to. The 70s ones. Those are cool. I saw you had the
Pistons.
Ooh, the horse.
The horse.
The horse. Oh,
yeah. I was like, and then they went generic, and then they
went back to like the 90s versions. Yeah. The Mavs 2003 silver track. The 2003 jersey. Let me find that. I think I have it here.
If you like, the reason why I say it's trash can, it's trash. It's not good.
Oh yeah, the silver ones.
Oh my god.
Oh, those are terrible. The one they put, didn't they wear them for like one game?
Yes, versus the Lakers.
Yeah, that was like everyone was like,
ugh.
Even Steve Nash hated it. And Steve Nash has worn some bad jerseys in his career. Yeah.
And like that, like that's like, I wish that team would have worked out.
You really, yeah. Well, Nash was aging.
I know. This is like, I wish that team would have worked out.
In my opinion, the worst jersey in all time for me, and you can see this one, the old Wizards one, where it was like the cream color, but like you remember those?
Yeah. Whenever there was just like oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, here I have a picture for you here. Those. Yeah, those ones. Yeah, everyone remembers those.
Scream.
These ones were pretty bad too. In Steph's rookie season. Oh, I hit the mic there.
Oh, those I hate. Okay, I had a love.
I hate the sleeve jerseys. The sleeve jerseys are so dumb. I had a
relationship with them, but like now people are saying like, oh, bring them back.
The sleeves? No. Don't bring back the sleeves because there's a reason LeBron ripped the sleeves.
Because it was too tight and you couldn't shoot.
Yeah, and then this one, the Mavs one, you know which one I'm talking about. Oh yeah, this one.
Stop it! That was actually pretty solid.
Bro, it looks like
I know
it looks like the Timberwolves now.
Graffiti. Yeah, that was the whole point. It was a graffiti jersey.
I don't know if I like the city jerseys as much now. I know they're pretty okay, but like personally, I'm not the biggest fan of them. Oh, excuse me, but I just don't think they're like as good as they could have been. Like some of them are good, you know. Obviously,
Adidas take over, please.
Exactly.
Adidas, please come back.
That's why I'm kind of like upset that the NHL is being run by fanatics. Jeez, I hate fanatics. But that's a story for another day. Well, I think that's kind of all the time we got for today. Trey, thank you for talking basketball. We're probably gonna end up fighting after this.
Yes,
we're gonna throw fists, but that's okay. He's gonna catch a fade. But
all right.
But that's okay. So join me next on Saturday. Where I bring in my dad, Curtis Wagner, we'll be talking hockey. Also, special shout out to Zach Babb and the North Texas Streaming Network for allowing us to do this. And that is all for the Sports Ramble Podcast, Episode 1. I'm Matthew Wagner. I'm here with my boy Trey Williams. Trey,
yes, sir.
Obviously, we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.